Good evening, Keith.
Good evening, Sam.
Welcome to the 89th episode of Jam with Sam, powered by Neural Maven Community. Keith and I have become best buddies. He was so kind enough to step in the second time to help out. This time also he stepped in. And we need to do some blood brother, like they used to do in the Red Indians. We cut the blood and do that.
Well, you can if you want to tonight.
Somebody scratched you bad over there.
I,
Was that mosquito or something else?
I get savaged by mosquitoes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so Pratap spoke about education and the formal education. Keith is going to turn this thing right around its head. Because, yes.
Yeah, I'm the confused person he talks
He's
about.
the person we talked about. So,
Fantastic.
for all us studious, educated lot, please listen carefully. Keith, tell us about your school and your college education.
Yeah, well, I think that I wish I was like Steve Jobs or anyone else who said that they're a college dropout, but they dropped out of Harvard. I thought I wanted to be an engineer, and then I realized that I wasn't an engineer. So I did 3 years of engineering, and I decided to leave that, and I moved to the south of Ireland to become a welder fitter in a boatyard.
Welder fit in the boatyard?
In a boatyard, and I worked in a boatyard for about 6 months, and it closed. And then I went into retail.
Oh.
And I thought, maybe I want to be an accountant. So I did a year of accountancy, and I realized that accountancy wasn't for me. I found it quite boring. And then I did a year of business studies, and I thought, well, I know most of this. So it's all common sense, and it's quite simple. And then I thought about human resources. Maybe I need to know more about people, because I've got a big interest in people and motivating people and trying to mentor people and keep them on the right track. So I did a year of that, and I realized, yeah, I know most of this. It's all common sense. So yeah, I've dabbled in a few different fields. I think the engineering gave me a good aptitude to develop a love for fixing things. So when people come to me with problems, I break it down and I look at the end and I look at the start and I think, well, how are we going to fix this mess that's in between? And I think I do that on a daily basis. I think human resources is really understanding that humans are your resource. Be honest with them, be truthful with them. Don't be afraid about hurting their feelings, because feelings mend. Businesses don't, and you should be challenging. I think business is all common sense. And I think the problem in business today is we complicate it with our constant reports and presentations, when actually what we need to do is just take action and get things done. That's what drives results. So yeah, I'm a 4-time college dropout. Yeah, so there you go.
Yep, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what he was trying to get out of me.
Okay, so even though you're college dropout, still you can do it well in life. So coming to fun times,
Yeah.
what childish thing do you enjoy still doing?
What childish thing do I enjoy still doing? Fighting with people. What childish thing do I enjoy still doing? I don't know. I love doing anything that brings me back to feeling like a child, like going surfing, going to the beach. It could be just sitting at night looking at the stars, realizing how small we are. I think that is probably a childish thing that we used to do that we don't do enough of.
Okay. What you wouldn't do for 5 million euros?
What I wouldn't do for 5 million euros? No answer. If you got 5 million euros to give me.
What you wouldn't do?
What I wouldn't do, I wouldn't sacrifice my integrity.
Okay, that's good. That's a good one. So if you designed and built a tree house, what would it look like, and who would be in it?
Oh, what would it look like and who would be in it? It would be, I don't know, I think if I designed a treehouse, it would be a man cave treehouse. And I think it wouldn't be who would be in it, it'd be what would be in it.
Okay.
Because I think if I had a treehouse, it would just be about, I spend my life surrounded by people, and I spend my life communicating and just constantly talking to people. And when I get my own time, I tend to go on holidays on my own. And if I had a treehouse, it would just be probably like a huge sleeping bag, and it would have lots of cushions in it, and a few good books, and that'd be it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Very simple.
What high-level job you think you could move your way into without having any experience about it?
An astronaut.
That's a good. Okay. Are you planning to be the first spaceman from Ireland?
I think I already am.
Okay. So coming to your professional career.
Yes.
So if you go to his LinkedIn, there's nothing about it. It's like blank. You know, as though somebody has scrubbed the whole thing clean. I think she was responsible for it. There's like nothing. I mean, I went and did Google search and all. I couldn't find anything. I only found some movie on IMDb. There was a Keith. I don't think that was you.
Yeah, there is actually. That's the movie I was in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I've been in a movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been a DJ.
Yeah. So tell us about your professional life. Come on.
There's not much I haven't done. I've worked in retail most of my life. I work for Pavers England now. I work
Go
for
back.
I worked for Pavers a long time ago in the UK. I've worked in big box retail. I've worked for Woody's DIY. I've worked for Homebase. I've worked for Halfords in the UK. And I think that what I enjoy is I enjoy taking broken things and fixing them. I enjoy working with disjointed teams and trying to bring them together. I suppose if I always reflect on a time when I worked for Stuart Paver in the UK, the founder of Pavers, and I remember he phoned me one day and he said, "I need you to go to the UK for me and I want you to do that thing you do with people." I said, "And what's that thing, Stuart? Kick them in the ass?" He said, "No." He said, "That thing you do with people." I said, "Go and give out to them and put them straight." He said, "No, that thing you do with people." I said, "Make them feel 1,000,000 times better after they met me than before they met me." And he said, "Yes, that's that thing you do with people." And I was 26 at the time, and it resonated with me. And I think that that's all I've tried to do since is I am tough. I'm a taskmaster. Yeah, I don't talk a lot about places I've worked or where I've been because this is where I am today. This is my reality. This is my work. This is my job. This is my life. And anything before that just doesn't matter to me. I'm here today.
So you started off as a DJ.
I DJ'd.
So before the DJ, you were doing something else.
I started off at about, I think it was 15 or 16 years of age, scraping pots and pans in a bakery to make some money. And I worked for a tough taskmaster, a guy called Chris McGuire. And if you'd done something wrong, Chris McGuire didn't tell you you'd done something wrong. He punched you. So you learned very fast that getting it wrong resulted in getting a slap. And you got very good at making sure that if you had to learn something, you got it right and you got it done. I enjoy expressing myself, and I think inside of all of us, there's a DJ, there's an actor, there's a soprano, but a lot of us just don't know what avenues to go down to express that and let it out. And I think at work, I do a lot of theatrics when I get excited, and I'm a big picture man. So I like the whiteboard, vision board. I like to really get energized and get involved and get people to see the picture. So I think that I've been a combination of many things. I've been a retailer, I've been an engineer, I've been a DJ, I've been an actor, I've done personal security, I've done just about every job you can turn your hands to, which means that when you come up against a situation and you find yourself maybe in a predicament where you're not sure what to do, you know what to do. And that's a lucky thing.
So you think all these experiences which you've been going through, because of maybe your formal education was not there, you were ready to try something new every time?
I think for me, it's always been looking for the next challenge. And I think that that's why I never found doing 4 years of college something that was, I think looking at the end result, you get your certificate. I'm a life man. I live my life. My life isn't my job, doesn't define me. What defines me is how we get things done, adding value in life, how we influence others, what education you need to do that. I cherry pick what I need, and once I think I've got what I need, I move on to the next thing. So if I need a little bit of accounting, I'll steal that. If I need a little bit of engineering, I'll steal that. If I see a personality trait in you, I'll steal that. And I think that that's what life is. Life's very visual, and it's about understanding what skills you need and cherry picking them, as opposed to getting one skill set and sticking with that skill set for all your life. I've dipped into 3 or 4 different skill sets and applied them all in different ways. And I found that very useful when I come up against difficult times. And I like to talk about vulnerabilities, and I like to talk about being a man, and I like to talk about women. And I think that the big problem that you have today is a lot of men are afraid of expressing their vulnerabilities. A lot of men think that if you haven't got a level of achievement, or you haven't, maybe you're not, my thing is every day's a new day, every day's a startup. If you don't think you're educated enough, buy a book on what you want to learn, but know what you want to learn. you know.
Absolutely. Okay. So now we come to a topic of discussion. Pavers England. Tell us about the company, the founder, and the India operations.
So Pavers was founded in 1971 in the UK by a beautiful lady called Catherine Paver. And she founded the business with a small bank loan, but what she used to do was she couldn't find shoes that were comfortable. So she would source shoes, and then they would hold house parties and sell the shoes at the parties, and that turned into a business. So with her three sons, she's got Graham, Ian, and Stuart. They started Pavers in the UK, and it's become very successful. And unfortunately, Catherine passed away, I think it's roughly about 3 years ago.
Oh.
And Stuart now runs the business. And in 2008, he went into a partnership with Foresight Group in a JV. So Foresight are into oil exploration, oil and gas, and shipping, and they also have restaurants. Okay. So they're a big business. It's Ravi Mahotra is the chairman of the company, and it was a gentleman called Utsav Seth and Stuart had formed a relationship through work, and they decided to launch Pavers England in 2008, and Pavers England in 2014 was one of the first FDI registered companies in India.
Oh.
So I think they were actually the first registered FDI fully approved companies in India. And since then, it's grown. We had almost 300 outlets with Reliance footprint.
Okay.
And we realized the shop-in-shop wasn't for us. We wanted to have our own shops. And we're working on that network. We're very famous in the airports. So anyone who's traveled through most of the airports would see a Pavers England store. And we're in a lot of the big shopping malls. And now we're making online one of our biggest stores. So it's Pavers in the UK, the name's synonymous. They own Jones Bootmaker as well. Yeah, they're in London, they're all over the UK, they're in Ireland. That's where I first started my footwear career in about 1998 in Ireland, working with Pavers.
Oh.
Yeah, so a bit of a long relationship. Yeah, they're very successful. And India is this, I just think this is the most exciting place that you could possibly ever end up as an Irishman. Living in India. I never planned this. When I joined the company, they asked me would I be interested in living in Dubai. I said, of course, who wouldn't? Dubai is so glamorous and so shiny. And I moved to Dubai, and then they took me to Mumbai and said, would I like to live in Mumbai? And I said, yeah, I live in Mumbai. And then they confiscated my passport, and I haven't been allowed to leave. So no, I like it. I like India, I like Mumbai, and when I go home, people ask me, what's it like living in India? And I say they're just like the Irish. So,
how are they like the Irish? Tell us.
You like a drink, and you like to talk, and you're very friendly. And even if I go out, sometimes maybe once every 6 weeks, I'll go for a beer on my own. And if I'm in a pub standing on my own, people will just go, "Hey, where are you from?" And you go, "Ireland." "You here on your own?" You go, "Yeah." And you're over, and you've got a whole new circle of friends. So. Yeah, I just find Indians are very like the Irish. We share the same flag.
Yes.
So green, white, and orange. You're horizontal, we're vertical. Means you drink more than us. Yeah, no, I just, culturally, I love it. The people are very giving, very generous, very honest. And my old saying in work is, I put on my trousers the same way you did this morning. We all came from the same factory, so we're all the same. So you've been very welcoming, and for an Irishman living here, I didn't go home this Christmas.
Yes.
I spent it here with my team. Definitely my Indian brothers and sisters are very important to me. And my hashtag is Irishman Indian Heart, and I mean that genuinely.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what has been your role in Pavers England, and how's the ride been so far?
What has been my role in Pavers England? I started off as an assistant buyer, and now I lead the company's retail division in India. What's my role today? I was taking phone calls as customer service. I have my phone number up on LinkedIn, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. I encourage customers to ring me directly. I'm hands-on, I'm sleeves rolled up. I get involved in everything from product development, product sourcing, marketing, online, digital, retail, customer service, logistics. There's nothing I don't touch. The merchandisers have been the latest team that I've got very heavily involved with as well. So everything.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. Women in retail, you have taken a lead.
Yeah, women in retail. I think women in general. I always say that in India, the mother, like in Ireland, the mother raises the son. She tries to pick a nice girl for him. He marries that girl. He wants her to turn into his mother. So if that doesn't tell you that women are better than men, I don't know what does. I think women are the great equalizer. I think in a testosterone-driven society that we live in today, the more women in the workplace, the better. I champion women. Women are smarter than guys, braver than guys, tougher than guys, and much more secure than guys. And a woman will not ask you for permission. She will go ahead and do it. Yeah. I find that men will wait to ask for permission, and they will try and sit back to take orders. You will not be too hard pushed to get a woman to give you orders. You know, and I love that, and I love that in business. And I think, yeah, get more women into every business and support them and be there because they will support you. But I think that bringing a woman into the workplace makes everybody change their standards and how they look at things. I think that women bring a great perfectionist touch in a workplace that a man just can't bring. And I know a lot of men won't agree with me on that, but I have no problem in taking advice from women, and regularly I'll talk to my colleagues and I'll ask them, give me feedback, that 360-degree feedback. Tell me how I'm doing. Am I conducting myself professionally? Am I doing the right things? And I think for us guys, we do have an ego, and I think that women are the great equalizer. They just crush our egos and they say, listen, dude, you're just a guy, get over yourself. And that's a good reminder, you know? Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
Because if I'm wrong, you can tell me.
No? They have shoes, they can hit you with those shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the range of products Pavers England does, and is the sourcing done in India?
Yeah, well, I'm a great nationalist, so I'm trying to source more and more and more products in India. I believe that we're an Indian company at heart. I believe in Indian industry and Indian products. So at the minute, we're probably about coming up towards 40-50% Indian source, but we source from Brazil, from Portugal, Spain, UK, Italy, Turkey, some from China. So we source globally. We are footwear, accessories, socks, belts, wallets, and we're always just on the lookout to see is there anything else out there that we can introduce into our range that the consumer wants. But definitely we're very customer centric. So we're an organization that is growing, trying to understand the Indian consumer. Obviously being an English 50% business, whereby the buying and the retailing experience came from the UK, which is fantastic heritage. Doing business in India is very challenging. It's very different. Styles are very different. So it's important for me to spend as much time as I can around the customer. It's important to have a very open platform to the customers and listen to them. I think that a lot of people have probably shopped in a Pavers England at some stage. They will have mixed feedback as we migrate the murky waters of fashion, which isn't easy. We are a comfort brand. Comfort's in our DNA. We're trying to get the shoes more comfortable while also bringing the prices in line with the customer's demand for more affordable prices without having any integrity issues towards the quality. And I think that working with Indian factories is going to be our success. Because we're an Indian brand, and I can't say that enough. Pavers England is Indian.
Interesting. Very nice. Very nice. Very good. So do you export from India to England?
Well,
we can edit that later.
Yeah. We have a lot. We've actually just started doing wholesale. So we have a lot of interest. We have a guy in Mauritius who's trying to buy some shoes from us. There's a guy in Africa who buys some shoes from us. But we're developing the wholesale model. It'll go live online possibly next week. People can register, and definitely looking at overseas markets is something that we'll always explore. But if we can conquer the Indian market, I think that will be a huge success for us. And that's an ongoing, ever-changing, ever-explorative narrative in India is what defines that perfect style and comfort for the Indian consumer. We get that right, then I'm happy. Our competition is ourselves.
Okay. What sells more, women or men's footwear?
We're about 50-50 at the minute.
Whoa.
So I think we're predominantly known as a men's brand. I don't know, is that just because of the name or, but we're definitely getting stronger in the ladies. In the UK, they're probably 80% ladies, 20% men. Here we're probably 50-50. But I would love to win the hearts of a lot more women. And to do that, definitely putting my phone number out there. And asking people to send me photographs of the shoes you like, send me photographs of the handbags you like. Today I'm trying to develop a lady's laptop bag that's both feminine and business, but also that you can fit things in. You know, so Kinnary bought a laptop bag a few weeks ago and you could just put a laptop in it, and I'm like, yeah, women probably have a few more things than us. So it's, yeah, I think the more I put my phone number out there and the more people can identify this Irishman with the Indian heart as being Pavers England, and they can contact me and we can develop the brand better and further. But as a family, you know, I'm passionate that we're not just seen as another brand that's come into India to make money. Yes, we want to make money, but we want to fill the Indian hearts with a love for a brand that's Indian, you know, so that we have to connect with people always.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, coming to quick gun, Sam, one witty answer. U2 or Sinead O'Connor?
Well, it's got to be you too.
Mumbai or Donegal?
Mumbai or Donegal? Sam, it's got to be Donegal.
So
And if you don't know why, you've got to Google
Donegal and see.
Yeah.
Okay. Dosa or crepes?
Dosa every time.
Dosa every time. Okay. Kingfisher or stout?
Sam, what are you doing to me? It's Kingfisher in India, but when I go home, it's stout.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see the weight difference when I come back.
So he's had a huge transformation. Keith, what did you weigh when you came to India?
I came to India probably 3 years ago. I was 138, 140 kilos. I was a big boy. So.
And now?
No, I had a couple of beers last week.
Oh, you broke your...
Yeah, I broke my...
Okay,
yes, I did.
okay,
So I'm
okay.
104 kilos today, but I was 102. So, but it's my birthday in February, and I'm going to be 100. So I'll have lost probably 28 or 30 kilos since last February, which is not bad going.
Amazing, great. Okay, social media, which platform you like? You just deleted your Facebook account? It's still there?
I have a Facebook account, but it's just friends and family on it. I don't bother with it much. Instagram, I've got an open Instagram KGB, which is nothing to do with the secret police. So I'm Keith Jared Brendan.
Okay.
So it's KGB Mclarnon on Instagram. And I created that. I was encouraged by someone I met, and they said to me, you're very motivational. I said, really? And they said, just share some of your posts. So I share I spend a lot of time on the ground with my team. I share a lot of photographs of the guys at work. And LinkedIn. I'm probably the least LinkedIn person you could have with things that I post. But they resonate with me, and I don't care. The reality is this life isn't about trying to put forward a persona that isn't you. It's about putting forward a persona that is you. Don't paint the perfect life. Don't paint the perfect picture. Share with people who you are, and if they like you, they like you, and if they don't, they don't. Not everybody is everybody else's cup of tea.
Beautiful. How does Pavers England use social media? Give us one or two examples.
We are getting better at it. If you go onto our Instagram, you will see videos of me going, hi, it's Keith from Pavers England. So we're probably different to a lot of brands. That for me, a brand is an inanimate object. And we want to give heart and soul to the brand. And we want to be seen as a family brand. And we want to be seen as a brand of the people. We want to be seen as a brand that you can tell me, these are the styles I like, these are the kind of shoes I like. When are you going to develop this? And we'll start working on developing some of those styles. So we're trying to get more engaging. I think we're trying to break the taboo that you have to be a certain way on social media. Let people see who you are and let them like you because they like who you are, but don't pretend to be something you're not. So I think that's
super,
key.
super. Hobbies and family, tell us about your big family.
Yeah, there's 7 of us, excluding my mum and dad. So mum's not with us anymore. You're supposed to go, right. So mum's not with us anymore. Dad's still there. He likes a beer, but he's 81 years of age, so he's earned that. So he lives in a little village called Cushendall in Northern Ireland. If you look that up, it's very beautiful. I've got 4 brothers and 2 sisters. One sister lives in Birmingham, the other one lives in Dingle. I have another brother in Dingle. If you don't know where Dingle is, Google Dingle and the Dingle Peninsula, the most beautiful place on the planet, a bit of God's country. I have a brother in Cushendall, and I have another brother in Belfast, and I have a brother who lives in the Cayman Islands. So he's a
All your slush funds are there?
corporate barrister, and I sell shoes. So there you go. That's where the brains went. He knew what he wanted, and he stuck with it. And I live in beautiful Mumbai. So everyone's a winner.
Absolutely. Your hobbies?
My hobbies. If I didn't have a gym, I would die, or be intolerable to work with.
Okay.
Which would probably mean I would die anyhow, because the women at work would kill me. So yeah, I love the gym. I love lifting weights. I've always been a grunt. I like the deadlift. I like squatting when my knees can take it. But yeah, no, I love the gym. I love lifting weights. That's it. You know, put me in a boxing ring, I can fight. I like boxing as well.
Boxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So yeah, I'm Irish. We're handy with our hands.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's basically my hobby. Yeah.
So have you had a hand-to-hand fight with anyone so far in Mumbai?
Not in Mumbai. No, I'd be lying if I said that I hadn't had to defend myself at some stage or another. But that's part of growing up, isn't it? You know.
Absolutely.
And I think that Mike Tyson always said it very well. He says everybody wants to be a professional boxer. Nobody wants to get punched in the face. And the reality is, it certainly is a great wake-up call when you discover you're a fight or flight kind of person. And I'm not a flight person.
Okay, everybody keep that in mind. Keith, it's been beautiful. The interview, wasn't he so natural? Yeah, absolutely. He spoke from the heart. A real Irishman, the Indian
Indian heart.
Indian heart.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Keith.